Welcome, everybody, to this edition of the Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
Floop Dog.
and we here. We today is Friday, as usual. For the last, see, I had to see. Sometimes you have to take a heartbeat when you start to stumble on your words, and then start all over. So today is Friday, 7:30, actually 7:35, and we're here to promote conversation, promote communication, because I think communication and conversation are two different things. You know what I mean? Because communication, you're more or less trying in my opinion, communication, you're more or less trying to get something across to somebody. You know what I mean? Exchange of ideas and views. Conversation is to burn time. And sometimes you might throw a little bit of education in that conversation, but really and truly it's just to burn the time until you got something else to do. But I'm sure my English scholars and everyone else who want to be can definitely chime in and let me know whether or not I'm wrong or not. So let's do this. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. We're at a gigantic, ginormous number now, folks. We're at 186, and we're building slowly, even though the content has been a million follower content. But right now, I guess we're slowly creakingly. Matter of fact, the three of us is pushing the vehicle till we get to the top of the hill. But please go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy us. All right. Well, Damon, how you doing today, brother?
Doing all right. I'm looking up quickly right now. Just kidding, man. I'm good, man. I was blessed today, man.
Wait a second. What did you say?
I was looking up the definition of crinkly.
Crinkly. Wow. Okay.
But I was being a major here when I said that. My day was good, man. I feel blessed. I'm on here with my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? We have the fortunate opportunity, man, to speak to each other every week, man. So those of you who haven't spoke to a sibling in a long time, do your due diligence, man, and give them a call.
Yeah, especially if you don't when you don't have a good reason not to speak to them.
Yeah.
Jaquari, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. It's the final day of a long week, man. It was filled with opportunities for me to show grace and patience, man. So I was blessed.
So that was at the top of your checklist? Grace and patience?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I think being 5 years removed from actual working, I wonder if I miss it. And that's the thing. I wonder if I miss it because it's funny where you, like me, when I work, I'm a hard worker, right? But when I'm not working, I look into doing something else to either work on or not work on. You know what I'm saying? I try to balance it out, you know. And, I don't know if I feel bad that I'm enjoying retirement. Of course, I want the money. I want the riches, right? But sometimes I think about it. Do I feel bad that I'm retired when I have other people such as yourself, Jacory, and friends and family that's still working? You know, I always come up with the answer. No, not at all. And I'm not trying to be facetious. It's just I've learned how to actually enjoy my time. You know?
Yeah, it's important, man. It's very important.
What would be the first trip you would take, man, if you was to go out of country?
All right, by myself or with my wife?
Either way. Some place you always wanted to go.
I really don't have no place where I always wanted to go. There's things that I always wanted to do. My answer would be going on a nice cruise. Even though I'm not a water person, going on a nice cruise, man. You know what I'm saying? Taking my wife where we stop at different ports of interest. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that day and lounge out. But it would be a cruise, maybe in the not the Mediterranean. I was going to say some craziness. No, like in the Caribbean, Virgin Islands, like that. Mediterranean, man, is too close to Greece. They stole too much of our culture, so I can't fuck with Greece too much. No, I'm just joking. But a cruise, man.
I would go up one side on the western side of Michigan, down to the eastern side. In a mobile home. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
People always say, why you want to stay in Michigan? I say the same reason why people from Florida vacation in Michigan every year. You know what I'm saying?
Most people understand just how scenic the state of Michigan is, man. It is crazy.
We got a commercial. Say yes to Michigan.
Man, it is crazy. It is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Jacory, what about you? Even though you've been on cruises, well, what about yourself?
Well, I would go to like and I would stay in America. I mean, I would travel out, abroad or whatever eventually, on a whim. But I would really like to travel America and go to some of the like historically black vacation spots.
Gotcha.
Like the one they had in the Hamptons, the Inkwell or whatever they call it.
Inkwell, right.
There, and it's places that like back in the olden days or whatever, black people were restricted to vacationing to, and I'd like to see if those places, still exist.
Gotcha. I think I like that too when we actually depended on each other, because we had to. See, and then man, let me tell you, you got to think about it, just us, the three of us, how times have changed from when we were young kids to now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like I was telling somebody when we moved down, man, when me and my family moved down here to North Carolina, right? If I'm driving to Michigan or Pennsylvania, because I moved down here from Pittsburgh. If I'm in the state of Pennsylvania and I stop, or Michigan or Ohio, stop in a little small town gas station, right? And this is no disparagement on white people, but that's all I see is white people. You know what I'm saying? And hostile white people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my experience. I'm sure other people have different experiences.
They travel though. Especially in America, man. They travel the highways and byways. Because they truly feel that they have a stake in this country. They feel like their people built it,
Mhm.
and they take every opportunity to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But I was also going to say I would also like to do the Black College, the HBCU college tour, man. All of them. I mean, like all of them,
Gotcha.
from the very first one to the most recent ones that were established.
Hmm. Yeah. To finish my point was when I moved here, especially from the central, southern to the eastern. When I went into a small country town, I seen nothing but, and this was weird because I was like, man, this is weird because I see nothing but black folks. I mean, it's a mixture, but where we're from, there's not a mixture, man, in a lot of places. You know what I'm saying? But you feel, lack of a better word, safer, or you feel like maybe
It's a familiarity.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So growing up in the state of Michigan, can you guys just give me one thing, one positive and one negative thing that you came away with?
I think for me, man, uh, other than what I got from our family or whatever, man, I got my work ethic from being from Michigan. I think people
Blue
from
collar.
Michigan, blue collar, yeah, just just the willingness to get down and get the job done. You know what I mean? Uh, Rain, snow, sleet or shine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's work and let's work till the work is done.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's a good thing I bought. But I mean, it might be shit. Uh, I guess you'll say par for the course, man. But just getting out of that cold, man, I couldn't take it. Like now, when it rained, every broken bone that I had in the past start to ache. I couldn't imagine that feeling in the cold with my gout. Man, shit.
Be registering, bro.
Oh man, I'd be there took hostages in that motherfucker, man. Like somebody stop this shit.
I think, man, for me, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I utterly adore where I'm from, where we're from. Man, I love the change of weather. I love the you know fall and summer and the spring. I mean, I love all those things, man.
Mm-hmm.
I actually look forward to it. The cold. People always talk about the cold, but you know what? The one thing I could that I recognize, man, growing up is that you can adjust for the cold, man, but it's real difficult to adjust for the heat, man, and the humidity. And we have a lot of humidity because we're surrounded by lakes and stuff,
In August, yeah, August is
you
crazy.
know. But it is nothing compared to the Gulf or the east side of the Atlantic. And those are the only places I've been, in terms of weather and stuff like that. But I like the seasons, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I look forward. If there's a holiday, everyone in every season there's a holiday, man, and we definitely celebrate those joints, man. You know, and it's tradition there, man. So it's real difficult not to experience all four seasons, man. For me,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't, I don't.
look. Go ahead, Jaquan.
No, I'm just saying I don't miss Christmas I don't miss snowy Christmases, man. I don't.
Yeah, I think if you just get into just being around family, it don't matter whether or not there's snow on the ground or not. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand why people get caught up on it because the snow is associated with gifts and food and camaraderie and all of that. You know what I mean?
And sleigh rides and sleighing and tobogganing and you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's just it's just something, man, that's traditional. You know, within every family, be they white or black. You know, everybody. You know, you go tobogganing or sledding, you see everybody out there.
Yeah.
You know, laughing and having a good time. You know, what he could. He made lemons out of lemonade. You know, yeah, it's cold, man, and it's too much snow. We figured out how to enjoy that shit, man. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually getting at something from asking these bland questions because that's basically, and no, they meaningful questions, but as far as a podcast, it's bland. You know what I mean? For some folks, like to me, it's nostalgic, but really and truly, I get nostalgic when somebody asks me to be. But I think where my head is, and I'll go first on this next question. What makes you angry as the person that you are? And I'm talking about taking in everything in account, not just one part of it. If you got one thing that makes you angry, that's cool. But just what makes you angry where it gets no pass from you as a human being. You know what I mean? I think my answer to that is when people make excuses to be horrible towards people. They make excuses for it, right? Because, when in our community, we make excuses for if we go without, even though I understand why. No, when we take from other people, I understand why you would want to when it's not anything there for you. You fighting crumbs, right? So I understand the mentality, but I don't understand when you stay there and you start looking for victims. I'm talking about crime. I'm talking about non-crimes too. You know what I mean? Where you won't help somebody because you feel as though they won't help you if you need it. And I've always understood that, but I'm like this. If I help somebody, it's because that's who I am, not because somebody's going to help me later because of it. You feel what I'm saying? When I think about that, it turns into a job. When I think about getting reciprocated, for an act of kindness. Because lately, man, what I've started to see is people make excuses, and this in a small way, make excuses not to be kind. When you're burning so much energy doing that. And the reason how you burn up the energy to me is it chips away at the good part of your character. Where you're driving down the road, right? And you see a lady on the side of the road, and you got enough time to pull over to at least ask them if they're okay, but you zoom on past, right? I didn't learn that much about it until it became my job. Because it was my job when I wore my uniform is to serve the public. So if I'm driving down the highway or a road and I see passengers, male or female, in another vehicle, and the vehicle is my job was to pull over and see if I can assist them. But then when I started to see that people, when it wasn't people's jobs, I saw people pull over to try to help. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when you ask somebody, well, why didn't you pull over? Well, none of my business. Now, you can have this argument to say, okay, I understand why you say it's none of your business. But to me, and I don't expect people to be me. So understand that. I don't expect people to be me, but, you know, if you don't pull over, tell the truth. At least tell yourself the truth. I didn't feel like getting involved. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I was late, you know, or I had other things on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like when we make decisions about shit, we either use people or we use the easier path not to do the right thing. And that's always fucking bothered me, man. You know? I could say the majority of the time in my life, I've done the right thing. You know? But I could always see in the other part of it, I've seen other people not do the right thing and not give a fuck. That's my answer to that.
But not giving the fuck part of it, you know, you can come to that understanding, man. You know, because it's all subjective, man, the decisions that we make. But if a person don't stop, you know, it might not be malicious. It might be out of fear, man.
Like I said,
You know,
this is my own personal point of view.
I know I got that part. I'm just you know answering the question. You know, the best way. You know, the best way I can answer it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I come to realize a lot of things are, you know, subjective, you know, decision making that we do. People might not stop out of fear. People might not stop because they got a chip on their shoulder or, you know, just got a messed up opinion about, man, why your car broke down, man, you don't do maintenance on it. I mean, there's a whole lot of variables there, you know, and for me, it'd be real difficult for me to try to understand each and every situation like that. I mean, I do it based on one day I might be like, you know what, this person is stranded or whatever. I'll push people out the road. You know, I've done that. You know, and then there was been situations where I'm like, man, I'm not stopping here, man. This is not safe. You know, even though I see somebody in distress, I'm like, okay, I have to weigh some options. And that's just a human trait that we all do. You know, doesn't mean that we're an asshole or whatever. I mean, there are some people who are. I mean, you can speak on that, but if you see somebody stranded, you know, and you actually think about it, then you make those are decision makers that, you know, that's being made in the process of it. Some might fall on safety. I don't feel comfortable helping this person because I'm not familiar or it looks dangerous or whatever, you know, and feel comfortable with throwing a prayer out there, man.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. What, going back to the original question, what has you vexed? What bothers you?
What bothers me what bothers me mostly, man, is when I think about, you know, my decision making in retrospect, then there were some things that I regret not doing. There are some things that I come to the conclusion that, you know what, I could have did that, you know, but I was thinking more of me terms and stuff like that. See, most of my decision making that I make in situations like that is all predicated on the fact that I have a family. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to stop on the highway at 3 o'clock in the morning? Somebody's sitting there. Am I going to stop? Because you got to think about it, man. The first lesson that I think we all learned from that. Remember when Pop picked up that the hitchhiker and showed us the bullet wounds. You feel what I'm saying? That you don't think that sticks in the back of your mind? You know,
Damn, damn.
he was trying to be a humanitarian at the same time. In real time too.
Yeah, I'm look, you're piggybacking off of what my answer was. I'm saying to you, the original question was, in your life, what
Oh, what?
made
Well,
you
right.
angry?
I did. I think I did. I said, there were some things that I wish I could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think about it in retrospect, and I say, you know what? I had the ability to do this, but I chose not to, and I have some regret. Situations like that, making the wrong decisions, what I'm saying, that harm me in some type of way. I have some regrets about that, but I don't. Those are learning experiences, man. I'm not vexed about it.
Gotcha.
I don't harbor any anger towards anything in the past because when you think about it in terms of wisdom and learning from mistakes and stuff like that, is it really anything that's bad? If you learn from it and you become a better person for it. So I don't allow, for lack of a better word, anger to make decisions for me. You know what I'm saying? Or, hold on to things, man. That I disagree with or that pissed me off or whatever. I don't hold on to that stuff, man, because it's like, who's truly in control? I'm saying my anger and resentment, or do I learn from them shits and now I know better? I'm not going to harbor any ill feelings towards somebody because they best me in anything. It's like, okay, now I know, and I'm gonna keep it moving. I mean, I don't know if I answered the question, but as I'm thinking about it in real time, this is what's coming to me.
Gotcha. Jaquari, what about yourself?
Well, I think the thing that really pisses me off, man, is people with the user mentality, man. Because those kind of people usually that they don't know when to stop using. Some people, in my life, man, just like I feel see me as an opportunity. You know what I mean? And I'm a kind person. I'm a generous person. But I can't be your only resource. You know what I mean? And to get people to understand that, man, is a chore sometimes. Because in the same vein, if you really need it, then okay, yeah, I'm gonna help you out. But once that exchange is made, man, then you don't have any further use for me until you need me again. That kind of pisses me off. I don't need a bouquet of flowers or anything like that. But we not walk into work in the morning and we had that relationship, at least return my good morning to me. Like, but I don't know. That probably wasn't a good example, but because you know what, I find myself to be an angry man, dude. I'm angry at I'm angry at a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to pinpoint it, man, it just take too long.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the fuck it comes from, man. I don't know where it comes from. And I'm starting to believe, or I'm starting to think that I've always been like this. Always been like this, man. And I sometimes go out of my way to kind of stifle that shit. And I always get burned up.
Mm.
But whose fault is that though? So that's what I mean. It's nobody else's fault. It's my fault.
Yeah. I kind of, I think that I always been an angry person too, right? But because of the responsibility that was put upon me, meaning not just, you know, me feeling that my parents put me responsible for you and Damon, right? But the simple fact that feeling like I wasn't understood in the sense that, you know, you don't understand how much restraint that because of the responsibility that was put on me, how much restraint that I have in day-to-day I'm speaking in general, in day-to-day conversations with people. Now, I might seem pleasant to you, right? And I can say that my anger came from just the world, man, just of how the world is. You know what I'm saying? Where we're taught that we need to treat each other kindly. But the people who tell us that we need to treat each other kindly are the people who are harming people. You know, trying to keep us docile. I'm talking about the people in power. Now you can try to put a color to that if you want to, but I'm talking about the people in power. So the people in power say, hey, you need to learn how to forgive. You need to learn how to turn the other cheek, especially when after they slap the shit out of you. I mean, that's where my anger comes from, right?
You
But
mentioned understanding, man. I mean, I think that's where most of my frustration comes from, man, because I do a lot to try to understand people, man, on the individual level.
yeah,
You know, there's several levels to understanding, man. You know, you can have understanding of the clique, the people you run with, but you know, everybody in the clique is an individual, you know, with their own frame of mind and way of thinking,
yeah,
and not everybody takes the time to learn the people that they're around, and I feel like I do that. But
yeah.
I don't feel like that's always reciprocated.
Well, it's funny. It's hilarious though. You know, where people, because of the way I carry myself, people always, and I used to kind of rebel against them, but I just left it alone because that mean I was doing the right thing. You're a nice guy. You seem so gentle. I used to rebel against that. And the reason why I rebelled against it because I hated, and hate is the right word for it. I hated being angry. I hated being frustrated. So when I felt like, even though you might have been coming from a nice, genuine place, when I felt like you minimized me and saying you're gentle without really knowing me, it made me angrier. And I used to, when I was in my 20s, I used to knock heads with that, ask questions. So why you think that? Why this? Why that? Why, what about me thinks, because I was looking to understand why I was angry all the time. You know, now my anger fed my drive. It fed me wanting to be the best at everything that I do. It fed that. But then one day the anger went away. Now it's like, where am I gonna get the fuel for my drive now?
Yeah, once you hit that goal, and you know
Yeah,
the goal is gone, what do you have left to feed the monster?
yeah.
You don't
And
have nothing. You don't have nothing but yourself to feed the monster. So you eat yourself alive with all the bullshit that you perceive that's going on around you.
so what I committed myself to do is understand why I was angry. I haven't came up with the answer yet, but I know I know what my quote unquote triggers are. You know what I mean? And what has always been my armor was the truth. So if I run against somebody who I just met and I think they're being a complete dick, I will tell them. I would tell them in a kind way, but I would tell them because I'm not going to hold that in because I'm not going to hold it in. And then when I leave, I'm angry. No, I'm going to express it. You know what I'm saying? Now, it didn't burn down bridges, but it charred the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was some burn marks on those bridges because sometimes people think that they always have the right of way. And they never consider that sometimes it's a mutual empath.
The only thing, just to try to gain some understanding, man, the only thing I can, with confidence, say about a stranger or some people, whoever, is people's preconceived notions of what they think they know, man. You know, and then it's up to me to either let, you know, if I had the patience for it, then I'll let them know, hey, man, you're wrong about me. If you're right about me, kudos to that too. But I'm not gonna. It's difficult to me, in my estimation, it's difficult to take on that battle, man, because in going through that experience with people, you're gonna have your own preconceived notions also, and that automatically puts you on defense, right? So everybody's going around with these feelings. It might be totally wrong, but you won't know unless, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying not be guarded. You know that's just you know, a human trait to be guarded. But the little things, man, I mean, it's real difficult for me to really care, to be honest with you, especially if they get it wrong. And I'm like, fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? This was you know, I never get that time back. But if there is a connection, I'm talking about in human terms, if there's a connection and there's true human communication and respect there, it's a bonus, man. But how are you ever going to get to that point when everybody coming in with you know, preconceived notions about each other? We don't have no idea. We just guard it, man, you know.
That's why I'm not guarded. That's basically what I was saying. I'm not guarded. You know exactly how I feel. You know what I'm saying? If especially if it's someone that might be mistaken and say stepped on my toes, you know, by mistake, well, I'll let them know, hey, you might as well, this might have been a mistake, but watch them big ass feet. You know what I'm saying? Now they might be, and here's the thing. I don't care, but my main priority is getting sleep. So if I'm a bad guy, I don't sleep. If I feel like somebody taking advantage of me, I don't sleep. That is, look, my sleep is my anchor to everything. And I'm not talking about I need 8 hours sleep. I'm talking about give me at least half an hour to an hour of restful sleep. The rest of it could be restless, but just restful sleep because that's my anchor. You know, I used to tell people all the time, hey, man, I said this to him or said this to her because I had to get some sleep last night. That's what I mean. I'm not going to walk away from somebody, especially if I have the opportunity. I'm not going to walk away from you without addressing if we bumped heads. I'm gonna need to know, well, why did we bump heads just now? Along the lines of what you're saying, Damon. You know what I mean? But see, what I am is not confrontational, but inquisitive. You know, because I don't want you to misunderstand who I am.
As I've gotten older, man, I found it easier, man, and more peaceful for me to just cut shit loose, man, and not even, sometimes not
What's
even
that cool?
address. I can't do it all the time, man. Like I just admitted to you guys, man. I'm an angry person, man. I'm a very angry person. And for me to hold it together sometimes, man, enduring some of the bullshit that I endure, that's a win for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win for me.
I get what y'all saying.
I mean, it's self-care, man. I mean, I don't, and that's the thing, man, because you don't want to take your BS out on people that's dependent on you and people that you love. You don't want to do that. That's to me, that's the worst feeling in the world, right?
Yeah, I can concur with that. I mean,
You
I
know?
hear what you're saying. I don't know, man. I just gotten to the point in my life, man, and I've been like this for a long time. I'm that guy who, if somebody trying to show out, right, at my expense, I simply say, I'm sorry, dude. I mean, am I supposed to be paying attention to you, man? I mean, we don't even know each other. You know what I'm saying? What we supposed to gain behind this animosity? What is it? Because once I walk away, I'm not going to think about you ever again. You know what I'm saying? And you've made that clear that we can agree not to be friends, man. And there's no animus there,
Mm-hmm.
and keep it moving. And I won't think about you anymore. I mean, I really won't give you a second thought. If that is your initial intent without knowing me, then that's what it is. And we're gonna keep it moving. Now, crossing the line is stepping to me. That's something totally different. And that's handling business. You know what I'm saying? That's handling business, but talk and rhetoric and all that, man, I don't care nothing about that, man, because we're not engaging in an intellectual conversation. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? You had this preconceived notion and you wanted to test the theory. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to give you that. Step up, dude. I ain't got time for that, bro. I'm going to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's another level. Other than that, I can care less, bro, at all. I shall not think of you anymore. And mean it. I don't mean that, in a way where I don't care about your humanity, but I'm not going to sit up here and go back and forth when your intention is to, let me test this, brother. Let's see what you're about. You know what I'm saying? That can lead to a lot of different scenarios, man, that's not beneficial to anybody.
Look, I'm good at essay tests. I'm good at objective tests. I'm good at motherfucking debates. I think it has a lot to do with, honestly, as I said earlier, people treatment of each other and using excuses to be that certain way. You know what I'm saying? I just never, and it took me a while to be that way because, like I said, I had to figure out why I was angry and always had a sense of duty too. You know what I'm saying? I was asked by our parents to be a certain way, and I respected them so much that I was going to do everything I could to be that way. But I'm human too, so I wasn't never perfect, and I'm glad and I like the fact that I wasn't perfect. I love that. But the one thing I know is the people that depended on me, from the smallest thing to the largest thing, they knew that I would do everything I could to follow through for what I said I was going to do. You know why? Because that's for me. It's not for them. It's always for me. It's self-care. It's self-care. It's what it is. I really and truly believe that my happiness comes from, even though I got the carnal happiness, you know what I'm saying? I got the material happiness now, but I know that's fleeting because it only lasts for long. It only lasts as long as the newness in the thing lasts, right? But my real happiness is to combination solve problems and to help. You feel me? I've always been that way. You know, it's not because I feel like it's my duty. Nah, fuck that. No, because I'll help you. I will help you because I want to help you. I'm not going to help you because, I want to look good in front of folks. You know what I mean? No, this is me. This is where this is coming from. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And the real blessing comes from is not being a sucker. You understand what I'm saying? Not being a sucker. Paying the fuck attention. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is I draw a line to a point. You know what I mean? Like, oh, wait a minute, man. You told me this, you told me that. All right, man, I can't fuck with you, man. And this is why. You see what I'm saying? That's what I developed myself into. You know what I mean? Because I've seen people, and I've always admired these people, man, that will give of themselves no matter what. I mean, I would be looking at them like, man, that's a wonderful human being. But then there's one line that person, I feel like is using that particular person. I say, oh man, no, that's not me. I could not do that. I would not allow nobody to do that to me. You see what I'm saying? Because I got lines when it comes to money, right? I'll give you my last if you're my family, but I'm not going to give you my last if my family goes without. I will explain it to you. I'm going to tell you why I can't do it, right? Because my family takes precedence over everything in a lot of ways. You feel me? And that's just how it is. It's like I've helped strangers, right? I don't think I've helped enough strangers, but my job took care of that personality flaw over the years. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was my sense of duty and it was my job. So that kind of showed me how it felt to do that for people, to have time for people in their hour of need.
So when you're dealing with people in their hour of need and you are there for them, what are you expecting in return?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that the whole time. Nothing. I don't expect anything. Now, if you say, Keith, if you do this for me, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to have that expectation, period. You understand? Now, I'm not going to press you on it unless you took a big bite out of my wallet or my time, right? But if you volunteer it to me, hey, man, I'll do this for you. If you do this for me, that's my expectation.
There's been times, man, when people came to me in need and they say, hey, man, you look out for me in this aspect, bro. I got you, man. I'm going to get you back or whatever. Me knowing the person or having some understanding how life is, I simply say, hey, man, I'm going to do this for you, but you don't owe me anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That cuts out a lot of drama and bullshit.
It sure the fuck do.
It does, and that's how I look at it. I don't, if I'm gonna do this for you, if I'm doing it for you, then I have this expectation of you, and I should have just asked you that in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go from there, and stay above board with it. But in terms of me doing for folks and having an expectation, my expectation is not whether it made me feel good or whatever. Well, that's part of it. I'm not going to lie in front on that. But the other part is I'm doing this because I can. And it's like you said earlier, Keith, it's not hurting my home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to keep it moving from there. I'm not going to sit back and tell my, hey, bro, remember about 10 years ago, man, I looked out for you in a real situation.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I've been waiting, man. I ain't heard from you, bro.
Yeah.
It's those scenarios, man, like I was talking about earlier, man. See, because I'm all about altruism, man. I really am, man. But when you find when you're a person that does for people, man, and you find yourself in need, and the people who done stuff for or whatever, or been there for, man, walk past you, and don't say nothing. I'm like, damn. I mean, don't nobody owe you nothing, man. But at least if I'm on fire, man, at least piss on me.
Yeah.
Well,
like, damn.
I could see. I can understand fully, man. If you do something for somebody and then their response is, "Oh, suck ass nigga, I told you I can get him." That's something. That's a totally different. That's a totally different scenario right there.
Yeah.
That's a totally different scenario because what they're doing in that situation, what they're doing is letting the world know that, man, he can be got, man. All you got to do is be this and be that. That's a threat. That's an actual threat. But if it's a situation where I'm like, yeah, man, I'll hook you up, man. Boom, there it is. And I can keep it moving from that without any expectation. Yeah. Because in the real world, people actually do stuff like that for each other, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That actually happens in the world. You know what I'm saying? Putting a negative connotation on just having humanity, man, I think it's the struggle. You know what I'm saying? If you have humanity, you know what I'm saying, that's just something that's innate in you, and it has nothing to do with somebody saying, okay, yeah, I got over. That's them and their character, man.
Yeah.
That's them and their character. And plus, if they had that type of mindset and attitude, chances are they're going to have to come back to you again and looking for that help. You know what I'm saying? And without argument and without anything, hey, bro, remember what happened last time? I'm not going to get involved with that. You're going to have to find somebody else to call a sucker. That ain't me.
And that's the thing. You say no.
And that's as far as I carry. I mean, I don't take it like, yeah, I'm going to get that sucker, man. He going to try to make me look bad. The hell you going to make me look bad if I made a choice, man? You ain't coerced me into it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You actually think you have that much power? Yeah. You don't. I helped you when your nuts was in the sense. Excuse my whatever. I helped you in that.
Mm.
And now you want to have a judgment in that? There's no judgment in that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got a leg up, son. And all of a sudden you want to find power in that? Yeah. That don't even sound right, man.
I think, and that's the funny thing about it is, like, let me tell you, what has helped me over the years, because you guys heard me say this many, many times. I've said this on this podcast. I grew up wanting to be a part of the group. But what has always been my saving grace is two things. I was never included in a part of the group, right? For whatever reason. It makes no difference. Timing, personalities, whatever, right? And then secondly, how I felt about myself.
That's key.
How I felt about who the fuck. Bro, that has always been my anchor. Like, yo, yeah, they had to, I want to, be over there with these females and do this and do that, blah, 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 with the fellas, right? But I said, no, I don't, you know what? They didn't invite me, or they did invite me, but I thought about it. I was like, no, I don't see myself caught up in the dumb shit. Not in the dumb shit.
Well, let me ask
You
you
know
a
what I'm saying?
question, bro. Let me ask you a question. In your lifetime, man, has there ever been situations, man, where you were in a situation, man, where you had to get through, you had to do your due diligence, get through, and all that stuff, and there was really nobody in that situation who experienced or who have went through the same things that you were experiencing in real time, and you had to go it alone and you overcame it, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that cancel out? Doesn't that cancel out being a part of the damn group, man? Because in your
Yeah.
manhood and your journey, you had to stand alone. You had to stand on your own.
I mean, but you got to think about it. Being a part of the group, what is that really? Not being alone. But just as you said, you learn how you can be alone. If you paid attention, you're alone all the fucking time. You by yourself all the time. You make a choice to go vibe with them. But really and truly, it's like you wanna, and yes, to your question, yes, I've many, many, countless times I have found myself on an island by myself. You know what I'm saying? It's what it. I was there.
Yeah,
Even
but
when
wait,
I got people surrounding me, I was by myself because it's
yeah,
how I was thinking.
yeah, but when you find yourself working through it and getting off that island by yourself, you know what I'm saying? What was the process? Was the process you overcoming your own personal demons or whatever?
It always is,
You know what I'm saying? So
bro. To answer your question, it always is. It's never nobody. Listen, like you two are my confidants, right? So if something's bothering me, I'm gonna talk it over with you, and you give me positive responses. But the process, I'm still doing alone. You're doing alone. You're doing it by yourself, even though you're talking it out amongst us. You are still making the decision. You are by yourself and becoming stronger. You are by yourself,
right,
and you know what I'm saying. This
right.
we are really our anchor resides in us. Our anchor to sanity resides in us because we can't really depend on other people because other people are not us. You know what I'm saying? Other people are
I
not
think
us.
I think other people expect us to overcome our own self demons also. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
coming to a decision that, you know what, I'm gonna take this route, less combative route or whatever, and have understanding, man, and future road to travel when you struggling, when you're going through something. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, man, I don't allow people to affect me in a way where I can't figure it out and be a better person, be a better human being, without animus. I don't allow nobody to do that because if I did that, then I'm a follower. I'm not following my path in life. It's not about
Yeah.
it's about somebody else dictating my emotions, dictating the outcome of my life. Me making a decision on that island by myself, it's either going to enhance my life, make me better and stronger, or there's not going to be any growth there, and then there's going to be anger, and resentment and all these different things. And I can't play in that because that's out of my control. What I
Yeah.
can control is, what I'm saying, if I'm on the road of self-discovery or recovery or whatever, and I come to a conclusion, it's my journey alone, then what the hell everybody else got to do with it? They're only going to deal with the responses of it. You know what I'm saying? If it's a good thing, if it's a positive thing, hey, they might say, hey, man, I learned something from you. Or they're going to say, man, you the same asshole or jackass that I thought you was. You know, and those are two choices that we can choose from. You know what I'm saying? Based on our own personal journey is what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. It's all about your
Unfor-
personal journey.
Unfortunately, man, for the majority of us, we find that when we're alone, it usually comes from a negative situation. You know, so I think outside of working to grow past that particular period, man, you live in that negativity. You know, and it's not real. It's not easy to climb out of that hole, man. It's not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, being on the island and everything. Yeah, at this point in my life, shit, I'm comfortable by myself. You this is my Friday night. I know
Because
people.
you realize that you can depend on yourself.
Yeah, I know people I see every day. Fridays they get together every Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they see me, it's pleasant, and I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be the one sitting here saying that. Well, yeah, they plotting to keep me out. The people ain't thinking about me. They don't give a fuck about me. You know what I mean? So why should I waste my time creating some fucked up construct about how these people who are pleasant to me, you know, might feel about me because they don't invite me to the goddamn kickback.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That's the thing about it is I see right on a personal note, I see that I can be in every group, and the majority of the time, no matter how much somebody has fame or money, I'm usually one of the flyest people in that group. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see myself.
mm,
You dig what I'm saying? And that's the key to it is understanding who you are and be comfortable in your own skin. You know what I mean? Because I realized something, man. Like you you taking yourself, you take yourself through unnecessary drama. Like the funniest shit is my oldest son Keith when he was in college, right? His freshman year, he was 500 miles away from me and his mom, right? So he got freedom. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, we always gave him freedom when he was with us, right? But for some reason, he felt like it was on 10. But he was a basketball player. I told him, yo, your job is to be a basketball player at school and a student. Student feeds the job. So you can stay on that court, right? I said, you might sit here and think that you want to party every weekend, especially during the season. I said, that is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. But you fool yourself into thinking that you need to party, even though you got a game the next day. You need to be up in the party because you done talked yourself into believing. Especially when they put it on the flyers. This is the biggest party of the year, y'all. We need everybody in the house, right? I said, son, this is a conversation I had with him. I said, Keith, let me ask you a question. Those flyers are printed every damn weekend, ain't it? And they say the same thing. The biggest party of the year. Don't miss it. Right? I said, what does that tell you? He looked at me with that, that young, goofy look. Oh no, it's the biggest party in the world, Dad. Oh no. I looked at him, I said, son, that's somebody's interpretation that hooked people like you to come and risk your job. Because once you get on you got an afternoon game and you going to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you got to shoot around. You got an afternoon game at 12 and you got to shoot around at 10, but you just came in from the party at 3 o'clock in the morning. And your job, and believe me, I mean this when I say your job, because you're there on a scholarship. Your job is to go out there and perform. Was it the biggest part of the year? You understand what I'm saying to you? Or was it the same people who show up every weekend thinking the same thing that you're thinking? And he never answered it, but what I did was plant the seed, because he's a college kid and he's young. I get that. But my job is to do what? To tell you the right thing to do. To show you, to steer you in the right direction. You feel me? And that's the thing. It's like, you gotta quit. People need to quit tricking themselves. So if you make a decision to be somewhere, knowing it's against your better interests, right? Don't lie to yourself. Just say, I'm going because I want to fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, that's just how I think, man. You know what I mean? Because y'all both know. Yeah, I love the bars. I love the clubs and was going to work and never was late for work and all that shit, but was out and all that. But I understood why I was there. To take this in, knowing that I had a responsibility the next day. Or sometimes I didn't go because I had the responsibility. You just got to make a good choice for yourself.
I get it.
Because look, y'all know I ain't never been no teetotaler. But I tell people all the time, I wasn't a drinker until I quit. Until I graduated from college. That's when I became a drinker. So during the season, I ain't even take an aspirin unless I needed to take an aspirin. You know what I'm saying? Now, was I out and about and, all up in them girls' faces? Yes, I was. But when it came to, drinking, no, I didn't do it. Not until my basketball career and football career was over with.
Well, I'm going to tell you, bro. I was that guy, man, who hung out and shit and then went to practice the next day and everybody talking about, damn, bro, what was you doing last night? And I was still busting their ass. So it wasn't no conflict with me.
But that wasn't no point, though. I ain't say it was a point. I'm saying to you is you understood, you understood it wasn't going to be a conflict with you. Everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? Everybody try to burn the candle on both ends. And the basketball thing with my son was example. But in life, everybody try to burn the candle on both ends, and they're not mentally prepared for it.
I get it. But I'm not contradicting what you're saying. I'm just saying, people go to college, man, they go get an education to go have fun too, though. You know what I'm saying? And when do you really get focused? Unless you're that exceptional kid, when do you really get in focus? Isn't it around your junior year and shit? You know what I'm saying? The first 2 years you having fun, you meeting people from all over the world, you're doing all these different things, and it's just an experience. You know what I'm saying? It's just an experience. And Absolutely. In retrospect, you can judge. You can judge. If I'd have did this different, this would have happened, and that would have happened. But in real time, you just living life, man. You know what I'm saying? You just living life and enjoying it. And some people have good experiences, and some people have bad experiences. But it's the experience that you learn from, right?
Yeah.
It's something that you can think about and say, "Wow, man, I had a ball, but if I'd have did this different, I mean, that's what do they call that? That's you can't. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, um, yeah, being about business is pivotal, and that's what you should be. But also knowing that you know what, I'm enjoying life in this situation I'm in. I mean, there's a whole lot of things I did in college, man, that I thoroughly enjoyed and I have with me today. You know, meeting new people, traveling, doing these different things, enjoying life, man. And it's like, man, that was a good time. I mean, these places I visited when I was in college, I haven't been back to. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was an experience, and it was wonderful, you know. So now at almost 60 years old, I'm thinking, man, it'd be nice to travel back to these places again, see how things changed, whatever. There's no regret, is my point. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was some detrimental bullshit or whatever. But is there really any regret? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess the many people. And here's a funny thing: the many people that I met along the way. It's funny how when I see them again, they remind me of conversations I've had with them. And they're the kind of conversation that I have not. Some of them I don't remember, but I got to play it off like I do. Some of them I don't remember. But you know what's so crazy about it is I came away feeling and being proud of the fact that the vast majority of those conversations, I left those people with good impressions.
And, and here's the thing about that, Keith, man. You are one of those rare people, man. You are one of those rare people who are still in contact with cats. And we're talking about when you were there your first years and the time you spent afterwards, cats that you still are in contact with, man. That y'all still have relationships, that y'all still are friends. You know what I'm saying? I have very few cats like that, man. It's cats, man, that I play ball with that I barely hear from. And then there's cats that I hear from that it's a lifelong friendship, but not on the scale that you have it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that in terms of this podcast and all the cats that I've met during the time you were in college that I've met that you are actually still in touch with and still friends with. And I'm like, damn, how the hell, you know what I'm saying? And that's a rare thing, man. And it covers all aspects of life. It ain't just basketball. It's just friendships. It's just people that you met along the way, people that you were mentors with, or mentors of yours, or however the case may be. Where if you really think about it, how many people actually have that? How many people actually are still in contact with these people who touched your life in some type of way? So I'm amazed, man. Been times I've been like, man, I remember I had fun with that guy. We was just kicking it, more so than the cats that I went to college with. Which is mind blowing. I got more friends at Pitt University than I do that I keep in contact at Siena Heights. You know, that speaks volumes, man. That says something.
You know what? I really think what it is for me is, to be honest, each person that I know, right, contributed to the person that I am more than anything. So sometimes I just need to be reminded of that period in my lifetime because, you know, like I said, if you got free time, you know, why not give a phone call, shoot out a text, you know, message somebody and say, yeah, what's going on? How you doing? I mean, it ain't gonna take that long, man. And to me, you know, it means something to me. You know what I'm saying? That's about it, bro. You know, people get caught up in their own situations and they supposed to, right? But every once in a while, what I've learned, because it's happened to me, it's good to know who that 25-year-old Keith was. You know what I'm saying? That 30-year-old, that 19-year-old Keith, that, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing, Jaquari, where to be reminded what you were thinking at the time through the conversation you was having with people. You know what I mean? Not dwelling on the past, but like just being reminded that maybe you was on the right track to who you are today. You feel what I'm saying? That's about it. There's nothing more, nothing less, man. You know, when it came to this podcast, I just reached out to them like, yo, look, this is what I got. You know, even though I hit them up on their birthdays, you know, everybody that I know it's their birthday, they I make sure that they get something from me. You know what I mean? And
But it's not easy though, man. It's not easy at all. You know, because dudes I used to run with, man. You know, and a couple of them, you know, made comments on the podcast in the past. But you know, I used to be with these dudes every day, man. We was always riding around Ipsy, man. You know, doing what we was doing. You know, having
mhm.
fun. And you know, I haven't heard, you know, any of their voices, man. And I'm ashamed to say the period of time, man. You know, the last friend that I seen, man, was Frank, man. You know, my wife, who was I forget why we went to Michigan, but she contacted him and you know it was a surprise to me. You know, took me over his house and everything, and you know we kicked it for a little while, and it was good seeing him, man. You know, he's doing very very well for himself, man. He's got a food truck. You know, he's an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
That's something he's always been doing, man. You know, that and music. But he started out the music thing first, and then you know, but he's always been cooking. His mother was one of the best cooks I ever known in my life, man, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, him and his brother got him, you know, put their money together and bought him a food truck, and they doing pretty well, man. You know, my man Paul's birthday, you know, it was on the 21st of October, man. You know, and shout out to him. You know, Damon. You know, Jared, Vance, and Quake. All my boys, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't seen them in years, man. It's been years since I put eyes on these dudes for real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know. Um, I tell you what. Last question of the day, or not a question. Is there something on your mind that you want to address? You know what I'm saying? We'll spend this last quarter of the podcast to address whatever you guys want to address.
For me, man, it would be, you know, just our general safety, man, our general personal safety, man. You know, taking care of ourselves, man, keeping ourselves out of fucked up situations. You know what I mean? Especially the older that we get. You know, it's just some shit that, you know, for me to imagine myself getting into, man, at 52 years old, you know, I couldn't imagine it.
Mm.
You know, but ironically, shit, I couldn't say the same thing when I was 40. So
I know.
you know, so thank God for the maturity. Thank
Yes,
God
sir.
for the presence of mind, you know, of being able to see there's something that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But you know, we don't always get ourselves in trouble. Sometimes trouble comes to us. You know, so the closer we get to, you know, the election and everything, man, you know, and our way of life seeming like it's, you know, in the balance of shit. Take care of yourselves, man. Protect yourselves. Lock your doors. God damn it. Check your windows. Make sure you know where your kids are. You know,
Yeah.
not saying that you don't, but you know, put your eyes on them when you feel like you need to.
And don't be ashamed that you're doing it. Shit.
At all. Yeah.
You know. Damon, what about yourself?
What was the question again?
Do you have anything on your mind that you want to express?
I pretty much, man, in my own encapsulated world, man, I pretty much address everything that needs to be addressed, man. You know, I check in on who needs to be checked in on, who gives me peace of mind or whatever. I think about the people that I should be checking on. You know, I think about my happiness. You know what I'm saying? What you know? How many people ask themselves, what would instead of being responsive to things, ask themselves, man, what would make you truly happy? Happy, what is it that you would want to do? And I can't. That's kind of what you asked me now. Uh, the thing that would make me most happy, man, because I know things are in place where now everybody can keep themselves safe, except for the ones who's most vulnerable to us. But the ones who are grown and able to sustain their lives and stuff like that, I trust them and I trust the judgment. What I have to pay attention to is what makes me happy. Hey, you know, traveling with my woman, you know what I'm saying, having different experiences. Uh, Hell, it might be I didn't put my feet in the Atlantic and the Gulf, but I've never been on the Pacific. Walking on the Pacific, you know what I'm saying? That might be something that might be in my near future. You know, hell, making our family's famous spaghetti, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? The process and everything. You know what I'm saying? How people respond to it. You know, little simple stuff like that, man. You know, I find it difficult nowadays, man, in my life, man, to focus on the negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because those are actually things that you don't have control over, but the things that you do have control over, how much effort are you putting into enjoying those things, man? You know, having those experiences, especially at our age, bro. You know, I'll be 59, man, in a couple of months. You know, now, you know, the grind is there. To put the grind in, now it's like, okay, now you're gonna enjoy this shit. How you gonna enjoy the fruits of your labor? You know, and if you have the mindset and the attitude that you did the best you can, then why not focus on those things, man? Especially if you got a spouse. You know, why is it always got to be a grind? Do you want to go to your grave with the grind, or you want to go to your grave saying, you know what, spending time made a difference. You know, called it a old friend, made a difference. You know, eating some ice cream that you never thought you would enjoy, but hell, that's all you've been eating for the last 2 weeks now.
Look at you. Look at
You know
you.
what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro.
There you
It
go.
is what it is. I'm not saying being being focused on self gratification, because there's a certain amount of selfishness involved in that. But if you can incorporate other people in that experience, man, you know what I'm saying, that's something that I look forward to.
Well, I ain't had no ice cream in years, man. That's crazy.
Man, I had me some hey, bro, I had me some damn butter pecan joint with the
You know, that's
pecan.
my favorite. That's my favorite joint
Oh
too.
my lord, man! I ate
I'm talking
a
about years.
whole gallon of that joint. That joint. I'm like, I saw the empty card on the side of my bed, and I said, I know I ain't eat all that, man, by myself.
Look, you wasn't on the bottom
I
bed.
sure did. No, I didn't do that, but I was like, man, that was tasty, man. I could the whole flavor, be it artificial, real. I enjoyed
Listen,
that all
if
aspects.
if I ate any dairy, see, most people, the lactose intolerant, it has to do with the bathroom situation. No, man, my feet, my legs swell up. I'm floating around like I'm in the Macy's Day Parade and shit. Like, man, what the fuck is going on? So it's been about 2 years for me, bro. I'm talking about anything, milk, ice cream, anything other than cheese. I still eat cheese now. I ain't gonna front.
Oh shit! Hey man, you know what I ain't seen in a long time is the black walnut ice cream, man.
Yeah, that was mom's favorite joint right there.
Yeah.
I think I ain't never,
Walnut.
since I've been on my own, I ain't never seen it.
Yeah, I look for it. But
Now we sitting there thinking about it. Couple things. We don't have Verner's down here, right?
really,
And I was going to go on Prime to order me some Verner's for a case, right? This is probably about a year or two ago. Man, for 12, it was like $40. I said, shit too.
wow.
I miss you, Verner's, but I don't miss you that much.
Was it 2 liter? God damn.
No, man, it was a 12 pack. Yo, and another thing I have been looking for, even though I ran into some good hot sausages, right? Remember the joints, man, the Red Hots from the crib, where they were probably like 4 inches long and red
and tasty.
Oh my goodness, man! I have not been able. When I was at the crib, I was looking for them. I could not find them. I love them joints, man.
Everywhere got some hot links and shit like that. But they not the same.
You got the frying.
If you're in Pennsylvania, Chesapeake's. It's like Pennsylvania, Maryland, Chesapeake hot sausages. Good Lord. But it ain't like the Red Hots at the crib, though.
See, if you boil the Red Hots, the water be all red and all,
be all red.
Out.
Then you're mad. You're mad because all the flavor gone.
You might as well eat you some bologna.
Yeah. But if you broke the water, did you drink the water for some soup? Goddamn.
No, I don't think I've been there yet. Damn.
I ain't never done that either, bro.
Now, let people know back at the crib, you gotta fry the Red Hots. You fry them, they delicious, and plus it keeps all that spiciness in it. But yeah, man. I just wanted to speak on the podcast. I think, and I'm just talking about our journey. And it's a solid 2 years for us, going on 3. But our journey with me, and you guys have experienced this too, asking people if they like to come on. And I used to take it personal when I asked them, they felt like I was boxing them in the corner because, we're friends, so I need you to come on my podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Like you was asking them to buy some Yahweh products and shit.
Yeah. Amway.
Amway, there we go.
He said Yahweh. I'm thinking about candles and
What have I done? God damn it.
Lord.
Yeah.
But it was a funny thing because I'm like, I just jumped to a conclusion like, oh, I'm just asking, and then you know what I got tired of? Hey, I'm just asking you if you would like to come on. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't, that's cool. I said, look, we have a good time. We have conversation. I said, and the only reason why I'm asking you is because I feel that you would have a good time and you would add to our energy. You know what I'm saying? And I've had a couple folks who I've given a chance at least 2 or 3 times to come on. I'm not going to name them. You know who you are. Who didn't show up and still haven't called me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, why are you making this into something that is not? This is us having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you might think you might think we might be a little controversial if you know us all. But have you ever looked at the podcast? Have you looked at the quality of what we do? People are falling asleep on this thing, man. And now this is not advertising for you to come and subscribe to our shit. It makes me just a little sad that people don't understand just how great this podcast is. That's all. You know,
the people who I've asked, man, it's like instead of just saying, well, no, that ain't my thing or whatever, you know, they give you a laundry list of reasons why. I'm like, you know, well, it's not like that, man. You know, you don't have to make a donation or nothing like that. I mean, you know, you ain't gotta help me move a couch or nothing, brother. I just want to just sit on the podcast for a minute and talk how we talk all the time. That's all.
Yeah.
You know.
But
I have had people like people who've seen it. They, you know, some of them, a couple of them said that they thought we could use a little more excitement. Now it's like, well, okay, well.
Oh, you know what that means, though. You know what that means. You know, clear controversy and all this. You want me to entertain you with something that we might be good at. You know what I mean? But we're carving out our own lane with this because we could do that controversial shit, man. Come on, bro. And sometimes we do. If you really follow this, you'll see that, you know, we done talk some, you know, we didn't talk some crazy shit here. You know what I'm saying? Not crazy shit, but controversial. And made great points with it. You feel me? But I think what people do, and this is my own opinion about it, I have no proof. They over romanticize what they see every day because you get it thrown, you get the worst thrown in your face on YouTube, on TikTok, on IG. You get the worst of it. Now you get the good stuff too, right? But that's on the second tier of it. The first tier, to me, is the BS. The question that can't be answered, the debatable shit that really is not a debate. You just you choose your side and that's it. And then the second tier is educational, is emotional, is spiritual. That's that second tier. But you don't get a lot of that. What you get a lot is the first tier, the celebrity shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was scrolling through, taking care of our YouTube channel, right? And I was scrolling through, and it's Puffy, Diddy confesses, Diddy's out. Diddy this, Diddy that.
Everybody
All of it's
talking
a
about
fucking
the
lie.
same shit. Everybody talking
All
about
of
the
it's a lie.
same shit.
You know, but us as grown adults know this man ain't even on trial yet, not until May. You feel me? And then they put a gag order on what was going to be released to the press. So now they're hitting you with clickbait all over the place. Diddy's second son has released a tape of him and Mariah Carey playing poker when 12 naked men dancing behind them. Motherfuckers be like this, click. Then what they talk about? Sean Diddy Combs is in jail. You know what I'm saying? You get tricked into the BS.
It's the same shit, man. I mean, you watch 10 podcasts, man, and they all think they have 10 different spins on the same story. It's impossible, man.
And look, and it's entertainment. And out of curiosity, I do watch them, right? Just in case somebody got a different view. But it ain't no different view. You feel me? It's not.
It's all about the spin, man. The entertainment spin that your individual favorites put on it. You know what I mean? It's like soap operas and shit.
I'm wondering if you saw that we had KJ on the show, friend of the show, KJ Jones, a celebrity, you know what I mean? A pioneer in what he does as an editor in chief of magazines, Motor Trend and many others, and have his own reality show. You know, we had him on there. He checks in with us once in a while. Have you seen that episode? The last episode we had with Xavier. Xavier is trying to be and semi-successful in his acting career. He wrote 2 children's books. You know what I mean? He's a spoken words artist. You know, things like that. You know what I mean? You think about all the different men and women that we had, the young men that we had on starting their own businesses. You know what I'm saying? The young ladies, strong women that came on, nurses. One young lady is a millionaire by caring for people. You know what I'm saying? Different things that we spoke about on the different episodes. Like, and I'm really speaking towards when you said we're boring. I'm like, boring? These are real people that you can see every single day. Yeah, we want celebrities on this joint. Of course. What? Hell, we see ourselves as celebrity. You know, not speaking for you two young men, but we see ourselves as celebrity. Shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course. But that's the point I'm trying to make is, you know, you have to understand why you watch these different things and what you want to come away with it. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, I've had people who coming from a good place. Well, y'all need to, are you coming on? Well, I can't. Okay. I heard you then. I heard what you said. Now, if it applies, cool. If it don't, if you want me to be, you know, because like I said, I really believe, and this was the early conversations between the three of us, I really believe we can get up on some Morton Downey bullshit, Phil Donahue, and wild out and be on it like that, right? But my only fear was what? That if we wouldn't be able to make it last. You know what I mean?
I mean, we three.
I would personally get tired of it. That's what I mean by make it last.
We 3 middle-aged ass men. Now, what sense would it make for us to be sitting on a podcast talking about some young rapper shit? I don't listen to that. I don't listen to it. So I go on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, you know, whatever, and scroll through the feeds or whatever, and yeah, for entertainment, I watch about what's going on in the rap world, but I don't retain it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. That's why, knowing you both have daughters, over our past experience, I make sure that I ask you about your daughters, how you raised them, what's your relationships with them. You feel what I'm saying? And they honest opinions. Because on the flip side, what are we getting? He's a gold digger. Oh, a man got to have 6 figures to be. A man got to do the blah, 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 blah. But you are 2 strong men raising daughters and showing and really and truly great examples of that. So this is what we do. Now, I'm not on here trying to justify why motherfuckers ain't watching us. I honestly, we keep it a buck. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? If you have an excuse not to watch our podcast, I don't give a fuck. That's just how I feel.
Well, I'll tell you, one of my guilty pleasures is watching Cam and Mace, man. Them the funniest cats, man.
I know.
I watch them dude, man. I find myself laughing like a motherfucker, man. They hilarious to me, man. And plus they be on the sports tip too. That's one of my guilty pleasures, man. But I would say, man, really, for me, I really, I'm not gonna say I don't care because I'm not trying to, pass judgment on anybody else, but you know what I'm saying? It really don't apply to me. You know what I'm saying? Either you with it or you ain't. If you is, cool. If you ain't,
yeah,
even better. But I'm not gonna try to unless you say we're gonna sensationalize it or be about train wrecks and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're right, man. How long do paying attention to train wrecks last, man? After a while, that shit become depressing. You be like, man, I can't keep watching this bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though it would be fun, you know what I'm saying? But
I used to back in the day, but now I don't because a lot of it I don't be understanding, man. And and faking, laughing through something that I don't understand don't make any sense to me. It's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Or are you serious? When I find myself doing that, then I don't engage in it, bro. And either you're gonna as far as our podcast is concerned, either you're gonna be engaging or you're not. Either way ain't gonna stop our shit from moving forward.
Yeah.
And if you have an opinion about it, okay, I appreciate that. All right. Next subject, next question. If that's the only way you contact me to critique my shit, we're not gonna last long, bro.
I gotta be honest, man. I was kind of disappointed earlier when you mentioned that we had 180 shows.
No, 80 subscribers.
Oh,
we got more shows than that.
I think we have more shows than that.
I was for to say, like, god damn.
No, 184 or 86 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we trying to reach 1,000. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's going to happen, but no. We didn't put in that. I haven't counted them lately, bro, but we didn't put it in. Got to think about every Friday for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of work, man.
Look, 180 is a lot of work, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, any last words, gentlemen?
As always, man, I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. Apologize for my low energy. I had a long day, man. But I do look forward to the next time.
Damon?
Nothing, man. I'm just gonna sit back and bask in my potential, bro.
Look, basking in your potential is a lot better than licking lard and straining dishwater. All right, well, look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. We here every Friday, 7:30. I believe we have a guest coming on next week. So make sure you tune in. We'll let you know. And Damon Jaquari, as always, great job, man. Appreciate you. And the Strong Perspective Podcast. And we out.